Betrayal stings sharper than any blade. That instant when someone you honored, someone you allowed into your inner circle, turns on you. They offered warm smiles while driving daggers into your back. Looked directly into your eyes while speaking falsehoods without a moment's hesitation. Dragged your reputation through the mud, hoping you would suffocate on the shame. Perhaps they took what rightfully belonged to you, attempted to disgrace you, left you standing there with fury burning in your chest, hands tightened so firmly your fingernails dug into your palms. You craved retribution, not trivial words, not impulsive fury that makes you appear fragile. No, you desired something more calculated, something that doesn't merely punish them, it obliterates them, shatters them in ways from which they never recover. The kind of retribution that leaves them gazing at their reflection, comprehending they've lost everything because they challenged the wrong individual. But true vengeance isn't about throwing strikes or issuing loud threats. That's what the unwise do, that's what the feeble resort to. No, the most formidable individuals don't reduce themselves to their adversaries' level. They make their enemies regret ever existing in their sphere. Seneca understood this principle. He never wasted his energy on fools, never allowed their actions to disturb his foundation. He overcame them in ways they never anticipated. He became invulnerable, not through violence alone but through discipline, through strategy, through a level of self-mastery that made his enemies destroy themselves. And that's precisely what I'm going to reveal to you. This isn't merely a message, it's an instrument. Every moment you remain engaged, you hone your edge, you shape a version of yourself that doesn't just endure betrayal, it transforms betrayal into a terminal sentence for those foolish enough to cross you. Signal your agreement, subscribe, because when this concludes, you won't simply learn how to manage your enemies, you'll learn how to become something far more terrifying in their nightmares. Let us begin. Number 1, defeat them with unwavering composure. Weak individuals react, strong individuals absorb. Your enemy thrives on your anger. They savor your frustration like wine. The more you pursue them, the more strength you surrender to them. The more you shout, the more they delight. The instant you strike out, you've handed them your control, and that's precisely what they desire. They want you spiraling, obsessing, overthinking every statement they uttered. They want you restless in darkness, replaying conversations, crafting responses, plotting your retribution, because every moment you dedicate to them is vitality drained from yourself. But an individual who is invulnerable, who absorbs every attack without revealing any weakness, that is someone they fear. You don't react, you don't justify, you don't recoil. You allow their insults to echo into emptiness. You meet their manipulation with a knowing look that reveals you perceive everything. You respond to their betrayal with indifference so profound it tears their self-worth apart. Imagine their frustration when their poison proves ineffective, when their words impact you like dust against a fortress. Imagine them choking on the silence you offer them. This explains why rulers, warriors, and sovereigns moved like shadows. Seneca faced circling predators, envious advisors, treacherous officials, and cowards who wanted the republic to collapse just to witness his downfall. And yet he never granted them the disorder they longed for. No frantic reactions, no wasted breath, just calculated, merciless stillness. That's power. So the next time someone attempts to penetrate your defenses, do not grant them the privilege of your outrage. Look them directly in the eyes and give them nothing, because nothing will cause them greater suffering than realizing they possess no power over you, no influence, no entry point. They will rage, they will scramble, they will desperately attempt to discover a weakness in your defenses, but they will find nothing. And nothing is the keenest blade you can ever wield. Number 2, break them by becoming more powerful. Your adversaries hope for your defeat. They fantasize about your downfall. They whisper, they ridicule, they cast shadows over your reputation because deep within, they dread what you might become. They want you submerged in doubt, questioning yourself, immobilized by hesitation. They want you trapped, confined in the same limited existence they've accepted for themselves, because if you ascend, if you triumph, it destroys the illusion they've constructed around their own mediocrity. So incinerate that illusion to ash. While they waste energy spreading rumors, you sharpen your intellect like a weapon. While they indulge in their complacency, you transform yourself into something unstoppable. While they mock your challenges, you establish the foundation for something so invulnerable, so undeniable, that eventually, when they finally comprehend the truth, it will be too late. They will observe your ascension with clenched teeth. They will witness the empire you've constructed, the strength you've developed, the respect you command, and the worst aspect, they will know they played no role in it. Seneca didn't squander time on trivial conflicts. He had opportunists surrounding him, plotters lurking in shadows, awaiting his downfall, but he never descended to their level. He didn't plead for approval, he didn't engage in battles beneath his dignity, he simply became greater, more disciplined, more steadfast, more powerful. And that's exactly what you do. You don't debate, you don't explain, you don't seek validation from the narrow-minded. You progress silently, you develop in obscurity, you let your success be the only response they ever receive. And when they finally behold you standing at the peak, unbreakable and invulnerable, they will recognize the harsh reality: they never possessed the capacity to impede you. They only had the capacity to witness. Number 3, allow their own character to destroy them. Some individuals require no enemy, they are their own poison, their own destructive force, their own executioner. Give them time, and they'll ignite the flame that consumes them. A deceiver will weave a web so intricate he won't recognize where truth ends and his deception begins. A betrayer will coil itself so tightly it suffocates under its own pressure. A coward will escape so many confrontations that eventually he'll have nowhere left to retreat. And the greatest advantage, you needn't raise a single finger. Seneca comprehended this truth. That's why he never degraded himself to pursue revenge. He recognized that individuals controlled by hatred, envy, and deception weren't worthy of his energy because their own darkness would ultimately consume them. So he remained still, observed, waited, and inevitably, they destroyed themselves. And so will yours. The deceivers will choke on their own falsehoods. The manipulators will tumble into the very traps they established for others. The betrayers will turn against each other when no one remains to betray. Meanwhile, you rise, you walk untainted through the contamination they wallow in. You maintain silence while they scream for attention. You remain patient while they rush toward their own destruction. And when their world finally collapses, when their false alliances shatter, when their reputation dissolves to dust, when they stand isolated, drowning in the very chaos they generated, you won't need to utter a word, because the harshest punishment, the most gratifying revenge, is knowing they inflicted it upon themselves. Number 4, secure victory in the battle within your mind. Your greatest adversary doesn't wear armor, doesn't wield a weapon, doesn't approach from outside, it grows within. It feeds on your apprehension, whispers doubt into your thoughts, poisons your confidence. That enemy resides in your consciousness, and if you don't vanquish it, it will vanquish you. Hesitation brings slow demise. One moment of uncertainty can destroy a lifetime of effort. One fracture in your mindset and weakness floods in like a torrent, drowning your ambition, extinguishing your passion, leaving you hollow, powerless, defeated. And that's precisely what they desire, those who mock you, those who want you diminished, weak, afraid. They needn't exert any effort if your mind accomplishes their objective for them, if your fear keeps you immobilized, if your insecurities keep you imprisoned, if your emotions keep you revolving in circles while existence drags you through hardship. Seneca was encircled by conflict, on battlegrounds, in politics, in his own thoughts, but he refused to be governed by turmoil. He silenced the disturbance, he transformed his mind into a fortress, impenetrable, unwavering, invulnerable. He recognized that emotions, if uncontrolled, become wild creatures, and an individual ruled by creatures will never experience freedom. That is the conflict you must engage, because the individual who conquers their own mind cannot be conquered by anyone. No insult can wound him, no failure can break him, no betrayal can destabilize him. He doesn't flinch, doesn't yield, doesn't fall. Your mind serves either as your mightiest weapon or your deadliest vulnerability. Forge it in fire, starve the doubt, strangle the fear, crush the hesitation before it crushes you, because once you triumph here, no force on this earth can bring you to your knees. For silent weapons, no outbursts, no desperate actions, no wasted breath, just pure, calculated dominance. No one anticipates it, no one can prevent it. You don't implore, you don't plead, you don't fracture. You allow them to strike, permit them to scream, let them burn themselves to ashes while you stand like a mountain, untouched, unshaken, undeniable, because this represents genuine power. Not noise, not chaos, control, precision, mastery. You don't struggle for respect, you command it. You don't pursue power, you embody it. So if you're finished with playing insignificant, if you're prepared to cease reacting and begin rising, then move, not tomorrow, not later, now. No more doubt, no more weakness, just relentless evolution. And while you strengthen your mind, signal your agreement, subscribe, and share your thoughts below, because only the authentic ones will feel this in their core. I'll connect with you in the next message. Remain sharp, remain invulnerable, remain legendary.